It's very wet, so it's time for some work in the Polytunnel. And coming up at the end as well, got some Wildcam footage. Honestly, it's like the animals are farther than we're down in that pit. Hi puppy! What are you doing? Still no goat babies, but she's getting super puffy, so it can't be far off. The day has improved a little. It was awful this morning, although mud. I'm gonna have to put some corrugated tin down, I think, so it's very slippy along here. But there's quite a lot of little jobs for me to get on with in the Polytunnel, where it's a little bit warmer. I've got to pot on a load of biennial and annual seed flowers that I planted, so I can show you what I've got. I also need to transplant a few more lettuces because we have a little bit of a vole issue in the poly. So the Polytunnel is pretty much Vole City at the moment. It's the perfect place. It's warm. I've put down all this wonderful cardboard on top of grass, which they can make their lovely nests in. I've created beds of food for them. I mean, this was a full bed of lettuce, and they just seem to be, honestly, I don't think it's slugs or snails. I think it's voles, and they're coming on. And they're just nibbling them off. I've got quite a nice little lot down there, quite a nice little lot here, but they're just eating everything else off. And there's also, you know, there's highways everywhere. So it's the perfect city. It's a perfect apartment complex. It's warm. There's stuff to eat. There's stuff to make a home under, and then there's nice big holes for them to go out and explore further afield. So first things first, I have still got some little lettuces in trays, so I'm going to plant those out. And the other thing is, the Polytunnel, although everything else is getting wet outside, the Polytunnel is relatively dry, so I do have to keep watering stuff. So I'm going to fill in all the spaces, get as many of these seedlings out into the bed as possible, and then over there we have loads of flowers to sort out. So I have got all of the rest of the lettuces planted out, both that side and this side. And this is what the voles do. Basically take and eat the crown. So we've got loads like that. And then we've got loads like this, where you've got some nicer outer leaves, but then they've eaten inside. Now I originally thought it was slug damage, hence why I've got the wool along, because the wool has worked really well for me in terms of stopping slugs and snails. But it isn't, it's voles. And I never kind of suspected that voles would move in and start having a gourmet lettuce meal every night. So we're going to put down some traps. We're going to come in here every day and disturb them, and we're going to water all of these in, and we're going to flood out their little nests to make them uninhabitable too. There's 3 main nesty sites in here. One down here, one over in that back corner, and one there. Now of course, voles want it nice and cosy and dry. So I think what we shall do is we shall peel this back. And this is where one of the nest sites was. And let's just make it horrible and wet. Now I don't use poison anywhere on this farm because obviously wildlife entering the food chain, all of that sort of thing. But we will put a couple of snap traps down before I leave today. Currently Jock's in here, so I'm not going to do that, but we'll put some snap traps down, and then if we we'll put some grain in it, and if we catch any, they will go as food to the ferrets. So nothing will be wasted. I think this little experiment with these lettuces overwintering the polytunnel would have been great, and it would have worked if it hadn't been for the voles coming along. Because all of these leaves, the original plants, and I only probably planted them in here 6 weeks or so ago, were the size of the little seedlings that I've just been putting in, and now we're here. And this would have been a lot bulkier had the crowns not been eaten by the voles. So we will persevere. Now before we talk about the shelves, let's have a look at the Wildcam footage. So that was all collected over the space of a couple of days. And I told you, it's like the animals of Fatherwood down there. There's a fox, Philip the pheasant, rabbits, blackbirds, badgers, muntjac. So I'm going to keep filming down there and see what happens. And as I've said before, hopefully we may get some baby badger cubs or fox cubs come this spring. First up, we actually have radish. So these were radishes that I sowed in October? I think the second week of October. And it's another experiment. So these are actually only the smallest ones that are left. I've actually put the rest of them into the ground. Now they haven't done much, but then that's not unexpected because the hours of daylight are really minuscule. It's warm enough in here to grow stuff. Definitely. And obviously, once we hit December the 21st and the daylight length starts getting longer, I'm hoping that actually these radishes might bulk up enough for me to have some harvests relatively early in the year, along with those lettuces. The rest of these are a couple of parsley here, and the rest are biennial flowers. Something I have already pricked out and potted on are these. These are Honesty, and they are beautiful plants for cut flowers, and really, really good wildlife friendly plants as well. I think I've got a mix of white and purple. I can't actually remember. But these are all potted on individually, so these will flower next year, and hopefully then I'll never have to buy any seeds ever again because I can collect all the seeds from these. I also have these, 1, 2, 4 trays I think, and these are a little bit weedy, but you're not looking at that, that's a weed. You're looking at this, and this is Achillea, or Achillea, or yarrow, however you want to say it and call it. This is yarrow Colorado, the Colorado mix, and I have red shades mix and a summer pastels mix, And I think I have another red mix as well. And these are actually annuals. No, they're not annuals at all. They are perennials. So I'm really excited to be using these, and I need to start pricking these out because you can see they've actually created quite the mat. Now I'm not going to show you a load of pricking out because you've seen all of that before, but it's very, very simple. So basically I've got a pot, I've got my yarrow, I've got a stick, and then I'm just literally going to find the base of a yarrow plant, which is here, gently tease it up. So you get your little yarrow, we've got a roots, take your pot, plonk it in, dibble a little bit of soil around it, and there's one potted yarrow. And just like that, we have some lovely potted yarrow. The other things I have here are Hesperus, both purple and white, an array of Sweet Williams that all, especially this one, desperately needs pricking out, and some weeds. I'm not very good at growing echinacea from seeds. I put hundreds in here, and I think I have one tiny plant there and possibly some in the back here. They just die. It is so toasty in here. No wonder the voles love it. Jock is getting bored, and a bored puppy means carnage. So we're going to go for a little bit of a walk, which means I put the coat back on. Come on. Because it's pretty chilly out here. Where's he going? One thing, if you hadn't seen, on the community tab, I have started our December Advent countdown. And this year we're doing an animal Advent countdown and a produce countdown. So every day through December I'm highlighting one of the animals that we've got here on the farm, and also the crops or flowers that we've produced this year. And it's not just on the community tab, it's on my Instagram as well. So Jeff Wakeling is the animal one, and Brimwood Farm, I've got the crops one, and it's also on the website. And if you do head to the website, I've also updated the collectibles page with some new t-shirt designs. They're all on Amazon to make it really, really easy, so check them out. I should have a fun post for you coming this week. Here are the sheep, and we are going to scan them hopefully on Tuesday. So I will show that in a video, but for now I'm going to take this puppy on a walk and try and tire him out a little bit. Come on, Jock!